Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. How are you all doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little sad because I didn't get to have my Christmas ornament making day with my friend because for some reason this weekend I had a headache both Saturday and Sunday the entire day, and I don't really get headaches all that often, so that was a little bit weird. So anyways, I am a little bummed because I didn't get to make ornaments the way I wanted to, but I thought I could make some today. But first I wanted to show you my new Digi, and this Digi is called Reason for the Season. And so you can see there's Mary and Joseph and Jesus, and some lace and some old what do they call that, that medieval manuscript, I can't remember what they're called. Illuminated manuscripts, that's the word. Or words. And then there's just some other script in behind there. So they're kind of all collage sheets. And I did work on this weekend with my son because I had to, work on it with him because I don't know how to do all the computer stuff. So it was me telling him where I wanted stuff and what stuff I wanted and him doing it. So anyways, there's some white roses there. We almost killed each other, but that's another story. He is super analytical, and my mind's, I'm a little analytical too, and tend to be pretty logical, but I'm also artistic, and so it was a little bit interesting trying to explain how I wanted things, and he didn't want to, listen and change things and all that, because he's a teenager and that's what they do. So anyhow, but he did a great job. He's really good at it. He just doesn't always want to do it. So that's another one. And I found these really cool images at the Met. They're old, like 1700s angels, and it's the whole nativity kind of thing, but they're statues, so like little, like you would put in your house or something, but they're super cool. So it was a little interesting getting those angels all cut out, and in some spots they're not in the best shape because they're so old. So this is actually from my wedding veil. There's a little rose and a little pearl and a pearl up there. So anyway, we just took photographs of things and found different things like the illuminated, I think this is music. I'm just not really sure because obviously that's from like the 1300s or 1600s or whatever. And then the roses. So yeah, there's lots of layers. And this is kind of a new way for us to do it. We've sort of done stuff like this before where it's all on the computer instead of me making them first and then him just doing like added touches and stuff. It's pretty much all done on Photoshop. So it's another one. I just loved these angels. I fell in love with them, and so I just so wanted to do something with them. So it's Mary and Joseph and Jesus, and then it's just pretty much all angels. I didn't do like the animals and all that because I just didn't want all that. We took a picture of a pine tree, which you can probably tell because that's what the background is. And then there's lines and script, layers, and roses. And then this one I thought would be good. You could even use this not as Christmas. Well, the angels really could be anything too. I mean, you could even do just a prayer journal. It doesn't even have to be a Christmas thing. Would be another kind of a cool thing to do with it. But here's some veil and some other lace and lines, and there's roses back in the background. But this could be used for like loads of purposes, like backing pages or whatever, collaging. And then this is kind of another one that could be used for whatever. There's that one. And then these are the fussy cuts or cutouts or whatever you want to call them. We got the angels out, and there are some other colors on them and stuff. That's just kind of the way they are. They're old statues. And then these are images that I found either on New York Public Library or the Met. I find them all different, mainly museums. And then we put all these together. The originals on these are all separate statues. Like the baby Jesus is separate, the Mary is separate, Joseph is separate. So we put them all together to make the Holy Family. And then, you know, the angels are just on their own. But then these two little cherubs are adorable. And there's another cool picture. And then we also added just roses, so you can fussy cut and do whatever. You can shrink them, make them bigger, whatever. So that is that one, and it's called Reason for the Season. So now I did go ahead and shrink these. So these are the same little cherubs and angels here, and I cut them out, but I left, you know, some of the white because getting in all those spaces is, yeah, not going to happen. That's one of the pictures, small. It was just happened to be with everything. What did I do with, that's not all of them. Oh my goodness, where did the rest of them go? I must have put them in this box. I thought I had them all separated out because I cut out a whole bunch of stuff last night. Oh good, I spilt my jingle bells everywhere in here. Oh, I know what I did. Where did I put that? Sorry, I had stuff set out and then I moved stuff and I can't find anything because I'm a dingling. Here it is. I had a star that I made out of book page and I wanted to kind of put those on there. So I cut those out little and I shrunk the roses so they're not as big either. And then I thought we could use some of the paper too. And I have another ornament that we're going to work on as well. So we'll just do a couple ornaments. You guys can hang out with me and work on whatever you feel like working on. And I am going to use some of these, you know, the paper from the Digi. And I'll probably be doing maybe a journal or something with this as well. This is just kind of a play with it sort of thing. I'm thinking I'd like to have a flower on there, but how is the question. I think we'll have to do it like on the top. Try to get it as much this way as it'll go. Let me see, is there another one that would be better? That one's kind of more faded. I guess we kind of tucked all those down in the corner, didn't we? Because I like the other background on it. So we'll just figure this out. I like this anyway, so I think what I'm going to do is just kind of glue this onto here. Try to get as much of the rose as I possibly can, and then I'll just cut the whole thing out. That seems to be the easiest way that I'm finding of doing it. Need my gluing book. Yeah, I was bummed. I felt so horrible, and I felt really bad canceling on my friend. I just could not, you know, I did not feel creative. Like, I just didn't feel like, I don't know, I hate headaches. And luckily, thank goodness, I do not get them very often. I feel really bad because my daughter and my sister both get migraines. And fortunately, I do not have that problem because I do not handle it well. And they get all the weird lights and just everything, numbness down their arms and all of it. I'm like, ugh. It scared me to death the first time my daughter had one because I just wasn't thinking about it being that. And her arms went numb and her face went numb. And then I remembered the migraines and Megan, which is my sister, talking about stuff like that. So it's just scary. And I'm just going to cut this out. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. I had a nice weekend other than that. Just could not kick it. And I tried, you know, Tylenol, and then, you know, later I'd take some Advil and everything, and nothing was working. It was bad. anyways, yeah, I was hoping to get a bunch of these done and get them in my shop, and that just didn't happen. I mean, I'm gonna list the ones that I have. I kind of want to do like sets of them is what I was thinking. That's why I haven't listed any of them yet, instead of, you know, selling one at a time, because there again we get into that, the shipping, and it's just kind of silly to drive to the post office for one ornament at a time. So okay, make sure that's stuck down good. I'm going to ink it a little bit. Didn't get a ton of the rose, but there's a little. The lid back on the glue. I felt bad for my friend because I could tell she was excited to come do this, and then I flake out on her. But I just knew there was no way I was going to be any fun to do stuff like that. I'm just glad it's not as bad today. And this is going to stick up a little bit, but we'll try to, you know, work with it. I think it'll be alright. It'd be kind of fun to have one of these little fat cherubs on there. There's just not tons of room. I'm gonna ink this a little bit with the blush brush in the halos, just to, I don't like how white it is. It's bugging me. I really like these because they don't leave all the little sponge flakes, because that drives me nuts too. I don't like that when those get on stuff you're making, but it's a little bit harder to get these edges like that. See, that works a lot better. It's good for the inside portions where you don't want it as dark, or you don't want the big circle thing. Alright, looks a little bit better. It was not working for me before. Now I'm thinking maybe like some lace would be good. Let me see. If I was smart, I would have had stuff ready, but I'm not. This piece might be kind of cool. I like the color of this one, and it's a little wider. It was Rosa that gave me this beautiful lace. Thank you, Rosa. It's fabulous. Some wild strings there. Okay, I don't really like the perfectness of this, so I'm just gonna kind of make some snips and stuff out of it, because I don't want it to be like all perfect. There's a stitch still running through it. It must have come off of some type of clothing or something. I don't know which way I want it. Be kind of good like that. I feel like it needs needs something else too, but I don't know what. Some little flowers. I would like to use those angels, but I think they're too big. I don't know if one of these would work. It's too white. These ones that my sister made. It's kind of too pink. It's too white, it's too pink. I feel like Goldilocks. Let's see. Not even sure. Don't you hate it when you get stumped by stuff and you're just like, I don't know what will work. Or what it is I'm looking for even exactly, I don't know. This gold stuff. I just can't seem to find the right thing. I definitely like the lace back there. I'm thinking maybe just a little bit of this. This came wrapped around something at some point. It was like a big wide ribbon thing. But I like it for chopping up and using on this kind of stuff. Kind of like the strings just hanging out there. There's another layer. I don't know why sometimes stuff comes to me and other times it's like doesn't. I put all my laces and stuff in bags because I was going to take it, you know, downstairs to make ornaments. So that's why it's all bagged up like this. Oh, phooey. This one seems to be a little more, I think I coffee dyed these ones. Yeah, those might work. They're a little more, not so white. Like this one. It's got some good like brown on along the edge. That would work. I mean, it doesn't have to like scream Christmas, because a lot of people do, you know, like lighter colors, blues and pinks and things. They don't do the red and green. So I thought this might be something kind of cool for somebody like that. All right, I think that's good. Get this stuff out of my way. And I'm going to glue that on. I do like doing all the layers. I think that's fun. And I've got this foam tape I think I'm going to use. Okay, so let's get this on. And I know my letters and everything's going all upside down and crazy, but I'm not really worried about it because it's just gonna kind of go into the background. I kind of liked it when it was this. I'm probably gonna have to use a little bit of tacky glue. My lovely tacky glue. It is kind of tacky the way it looks. Okay, and then I'm going to put some foam on there to bulk it up a little bit, make it a little fatter. And this is thin. I got this, I think, at the dollar store. So I just fold it over and make it like thicker. Look at the ink on my fingers. All that lovely stuff. I swear I washed my hands today. So I just do that a few times to make it fatter, you know, so that you can kind of pop it up more or less, depending on how you want it. Okay, I'm going to have to cut that in half. Yeah, I just thought these images were just beautiful. Those statues, that was so pretty. And I just didn't want to let it go. You know, I couldn't let it go. It just had to be done. So I hope you guys like it. I think I need a little on that one. I'm just going to cut it kind of in half, or smaller depending here. You could also use the little pop-up dot things. You don't have to make your life more difficult like I do. Actually, it kind of needs to go down here a little more, because the top may hang off a bit. I've hardly even touched the ink today and I already got it all over my hands. Let's see. Okay. I like to add a little extra glue because I don't always trust that that is gonna work. Not sure how this is gonna work either. Might have to kind of go under for that part. Do I want that higher or lower? I think I'm going to have to put that up a little bit too, if I can get that to work. So we gotta glue, we're gonna get it to let go of me, this down under here. That just wiggled right out of. It's gonna have to sit for a bit to get dry. I'm just gonna kind of tuck it up against there. All right, so there's that one. You can definitely see it's dimensional. And I think this will work because these laces are not glued down like flat entirely, so I think that works. So there's that, and we'll poke a hole in the top, or punch a hole in the top, I should say. Alright, then you could put a hook, or I'll probably tie some kind of lace or something through there, but for right now, let's let this dry and we'll start working on this other one. And this one, what I did, these are a little different, and many of you may already know how to do these, but if you don't, I'm just going to do a quick little spiel on it, and then we'll move on. But what you do is you cut strips. These are 2.5 inches wide. This is an old dictionary, so that part is going to be completely up to the type of book that you're going to use. So as far as the height goes, and it doesn't really matter what the height of them is, it's just you might have to, like for this one I'm going to use 3 of these. You may have to use 4 for a different one. I used 3 books, or 3 books, I mean 3 pages of a what do they call these? Oh my goodness, Reader's Digest book. This is the one that Denise gave me. So I used 3 of these pages to do this. And it was actually 6 pages because I glue 2 pages together, which I also did with this dictionary because dictionary pages can be thinner. So this is 2 pages of dictionary glued together and then cut into 2.5 inch strips. And I'll only need 3 of them. And I did only use 3 for this, but it probably could have used 1 more if you wanted it to be together more. See, like this is a smaller strip, so the width of the strip is what's going to make the diameter of the circle that you get. So that does make a difference. So you want to make sure that you know, you're thinking about that. If you want little tiny ones, you want a thinner strip. I think these ones were 1.5. These are 2.5. So that's what gives you the diameter. And then you just glue these strips together and then you do the whole fold thing. And I tried to do about, you know, roughly 1/2 inch is kind of what the fold was that I was doing, and you go back and forth and back, you know, how you do. And so you get to, I glued them all together first because I want them to get dry, so that I wasn't trying to fold them when they were wet and it kept popping off, that kind of thing. So I glued all 3 together and then I just started the accordion fold, and I did that all the way. And then you take the 2 ends, and you can kind of see right here, you can kind of see that one was torn a little bit, but I glued one end onto another end. You can kind of see it in there. Ah, sorry. So that's all you do, is just bring your accordions and fold the 2 ends that aren't glued together yet together. So that's how you do that, because it'll be one long strip and you just take either the ends and bring them together. And then you have to take a piece, I would have these cut out already, like you can accordion fold the strips, leave it there, cut out the circle that you're going to use, because once you get that accordion together on the ends, you kind of want to get this on here fast because it wants to like pop up this way, pop down that way, you know, it's like a weird, it doesn't want to lay flat, it just wants to pop up in the middle. So the sooner you can get these on either side, the better. And then I just punched a hole. I hope that made sense. If you guys have questions, let me know. And there are tutorials on exactly, you know, how to do it. And if you do want a complete tutorial, then let me know. But I thought it's fairly self-explanatory. You're just making the accordion, gluing the 2 ends together to make that circle. I cut one of the pink guest checks that I got from Lori. She bought them from Denise at Wonderbar Crafts. And so I just cut a larger diameter circle for the decorative portion of this. And I made a Santa one. I did get this one made earlier to show you guys. So this is kind of, you know, what the end product is. And I did, this is a bigger glitter. I usually use that like super fine glitter, but I kind of wanted it to have that old glittered look. And these are little round circles of glitter. And then there is a bigger circle right there in a like a plaid paper. You can't hardly see it, but it just adds a little color behind the Santa instead of the book page. You could leave it with just the book page, but you know, that's not how I want to do it. And then to get the glue on the edges, just put some glue like on a plate, kind of brush it out with a brush just so that it's not all, you know, glopped in one area. And then you just roll it like this and then roll it in the glitter. And that gives you that glittered edge. And the same kind of thing with this. If you just kind of dip it in glitter, or this one I used my art glitter glue, and I would just do like 3, glitter 'em, do 3 more, glitter 'em, you know, that kind of thing. So that's how you do that. And I thought we could go ahead and work on this one. I would advise, because I did not do this when I did it, to do the glittering first. Because it just makes it easier to... Sorry, that was a plate that I was using to paint. I forgot I had it in there. It's all clean and up in my stuff. I just forgot it was in there. These are just paper plates that I also used to paint. I haven't painted in so long. That's probably why I forgot that was up there. So what I'm going to do is put a little glue on here, and I just use tacky glue, but you could definitely use white glue. Would probably work just as well, but I have tacky glue, so that's what I'm using. So just kind of getting it flattened out a bit so that it's not all in one spot. And then I'll need another plate to do glitter on. Okay, and I know it's kind of a waste, but I'm not sure another easier way to do this part. I'm gonna use this finer glitter for this, and this is one that I've used forever. So there's other like little glitters and things in there, but it's almost it's the iridescent, so it's a little bit pinky. So that's kind of why I want to use that one this time. And you want to make sure you get, you know, quite a bit of glue, because otherwise it's really not going to work. Try not to get it all over your hands like me. These get pretty stiff. If you use 2 book pages, you know, glued together first and then cut your strips, it's pretty stiff, because with this old book page especially, or like the dictionary pages like I was saying, they're so thin that and these old ones crack. So this way, if they crack a little bit, it's not going to, you know, ruin your, it's not just going to rip, which is what could possibly happen. So I just take basically the same thing I did in the glue, and I do it in the glitter, so that I'll get all the edges of that. It kind of looks like snow. Alright, I think this is my front. Right? Yeah. And then I'm going to take my art glitter glue. I could use that if let me see if I've got a little brush, because that way I can use that up instead of wasting it. Sorry, I keep disappearing on you guys today. It'd help if I'd ever get organized, but that's probably not going to happen, so I wouldn't hold your breath. Well, the problem is I just got off work. You know, I get off work and I come in, and I think I kind of had it set out and I thought I was ready, but it doesn't work. This helps too if you do have cracks, if you do a little bit of gluing like this and glittering, you know, because it'll just make it cover some of that up. And I'm just going to kind of lay it in here and hope I get some of those edges. I didn't do all the glue first. You probably could doing the brush, but you know, you don't want it to dry before you can get the glitter on there. So I just think this works to do a few and do a few more. That one's like in deeper or something. That won't get on there very well. The super fine glitter, you can't even pick it up. It's so... Okay, I think right there needs a little more. Just doesn't want to get any right there. It'll be covered in glitter. Whole room is going to be covered in glitter. Okay, and I think we'll go ahead and do around the edge of this like I did around the edge of the plaid for the Santa one. Which is kind of fun. And you don't end up seeing a ton of this, but it still adds a little extra layer. It's kind of like all of our layers that we end up doing. And when you drag the brush on here like this, you know, you get that glop, but I think it's kind of cool because it looks like snow when it's either in acrylic paint or, you know, with glitter. And you could do this with acrylic paint too, along the edges, instead of the glitter. You know, I think I'm going to have to shake it on here. I know you can't see me over here. I'm off the... I don't have enough room for all these plates. So there's that. I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to move this out of the way, and hopefully not make a total mess. I'm actually going to pour this into my glitter box, because I can pour that back into the... Hopefully I won't spill it that way. I just couldn't roll this around in my glitter box. That wouldn't have worked very well. Okay, so I cut out one of these little girls from Dreams, Etc. again. They just seem to be a good size the way I've been printing them, and so they're working great for this, and they're super cute. See, she's got her little pink scarf on and her little pink hat, so that was kind of fun for a shabby chic version. And I'm just going to put glue on the back of this very carefully so that hopefully I don't knock all the glitter off. And as straightly as possible. See, I'm going off my little hole that I punched up there, and I just used a punch to do that. Try to sort of center it better than the inside ones. Those inside ones, it's tricky because like I said, the middle is trying to pop up and all that. So yeah, it's a little tricky to get that. And then I thought this little snowflake might be cute somehow. I might put another little snowflake. Yeah, I have all these snowflakes just floating around on my desk right now. 'Tis the season, right? I could think they'd be cute to, you could hang them off a little bit because it doesn't matter, it's got this paper behind it, so I think that'll work fine. This is where the art glitter glue is great, is glittering, and then these little itty bitty things like this. I'm just kind of astonished at what they charge for this art glitter glue. I think it's kind of crazy. Crazy. That's why it took me so long to buy it, because I'm too cheap. I do love the tip though. I mean, that's great. We could put some little other kind of dots or something in there and put a little glitter on them. Okay. And I think I'll just try to pinch a little out of here. Okay. Ink around her a bit, and then I probably will add, maybe we should add some fur to her little muff thingy there. What do we got on time? Ooh, 41 already? Wow. Yeah, it's taken me a minute, hasn't it? It does that time thing. It likes to nip me every once in a while. I think for that I'm going to use the white, just because she's got the pink scarf and all that, and the little muff thingy is actually white. And this is from Denise at Wonder Bar Crafts, and I'm not sure where she gets this stuff, but it's great. She wraps it around all over paper, and I just think it's fun to kind of put on here. I think what I'm going to do, and I don't know if this is going to work, so it could be a disaster, we're just going to kind of do some lines like this over that. And then we're going to kind of put this on in lines. It may not work, I do not know, but we're going to try. We may have to give it a trim when it's done, but we'll see. I hope you guys can see what I'm even doing. Probably not, since I've got a sunbeam coming in right next to it. So I just made lines of glue, and I'm just making lines of the fur stuff, basically. And like I said, we may have to snip it. Oh, did I do it the wrong way? Because it's a little crazy. Put maybe one more line of it on. This way. Okay, now it's kind of just a wild, crazy mess right now. Let's see if we can get these edges tucked in a little bit more. Just kind of push it down into the glue. I'm going to put just a little more glue right along this edge down here, and I'm going to actually just kind of push that fur, this fur that's longer, into it, so that hopefully so you don't see that seam of the fur. Just trying to kind of form it into some sort of shape. Fluff and glitter everywhere. 'Tis the season for fluff and glitter. Man, that art glitter glue does dry fast. Wow. Because it's like already dry. No messing around with that. Okay, I think that's good. Alright, I need to put this back in the art glitter glue before I forget, and then it dries out, and then I need a wipe. Because we have a disaster. Okay, I'll keep this near because I may need it again. And then I'm thinking she should probably have a little glitter somewhere on her little outfit. So let's just do a little along the edge of her dress. And you don't have to have like perfect lines, which I can't do because I've always got the shaky hand thing when I try to do this. But you're just, you know, kind of putting it here. On the cuff of her sleeves. Maybe a little up on her hat. And just maybe a few little dots over here on this holly berries or something, just to kind of make it shine a little. And I just stuck my finger in that other glue. That was smart. Okay, and we can glitter that. And probably some glitter will stick to her little fur thing, which is fine. It's just fun to add some little details to these instead of just having them be, you know, just a flat picture. I mean, they're super cute like that, but got it all over my fingers. Her muff's a little out of control, but we could kind of go along this edge just a bit. Try to get it under some control a little. Oopsie, touched her. That way it looks like it's on purpose. And she's got kind of a string hanging over here. I don't want to touch anything. Oh, I don't want to do that. I'll do that over the garbage. I'm just snipping off that string that was hanging out over there. That's cute. And then this. And she can go right on there. She needs some foam tape to pop her up. Now I'll have ink and glitter and glue. It's all going to be stuck to this. I'm telling you. The perils of crafting. The problem is she's wet and I can't. That's funny. Okay. See, if I had loads of time, I could just let her dry and then come back and do this, but I want you guys to be able to see it. I think we're probably not going to need this wide of one. In order to hold on to her. Her head probably isn't really going to touch anything. Okay, I'm going to use art glitter glue, see if that holds well. Put a little underneath too because I forgot. Just to make sure those stay. Okay, we want to get her standing straight, obviously. Probably didn't need her quite as high as I did the other one because there's not a lot behind her, but we're going to put one of these little roses on here, I think. Slide up here. Maybe we're not. Maybe she's just done. She's done. So there's that one. So I am going to put them in my shop, and they will go. I'm going to do some more nativity type ones or angels or stuff like that to go with that other one. But oh my goodness, I've got this, so I need to go put it in hot water. It's so gunked up I can't even get the pin in there. Alright, well, we'll work on that in a minute. So I think it's going to be this one, this one, and I'll just call these maybe like Winter Wonderland or something. That'll be the pink and the blue, that set. And I did add some glitter to that little girl as well. I'm sure it's hard to tell with the camera. And then we'll do, I'll just call this one Santa because it's got the big Santa. Not that they're all Santa themed, but it's more traditional colored Christmas, you know, the red and green. This one. So this will be a set, and then those three would be a set, and they'll go on my Etsy. So I know, Jean, you were saying you were interested, so you know, let me know if one of those is a set that you would want. All right, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you have an awesome day. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe, and if you want to check out that Digi, go on over to my shop because it's already on there. We'll chat later. Bye-bye now.